Hello, welcome to another episode of The High Ground, powered by Premier Companies. Jeff, how are you today?
I'm wonderful, Sal. Yourself?
Outstanding.
What we got for us today?
We got some friends from Premier Energy with us today.
Oh, it's that Bill?
Yes, returning guest, Bill Houze. He's famous. He's got a following on the podcast, and our most edited guest.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Today. Yes.
I'm excited to be back. I went out and bought a new toupee for this. So.
Oh, gosh. and our serious guest in here is Brennan Gilbert.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome in here.
No, thank you.
Before we get started with introductions, definitely want to have introductions, especially Brennan. But it's kind of Christmas time. Timestamp this a little bit. What brand of and type of cordless power tools or equipment is on your Christmas list? This is a good time to shout out to the Santa Claus.
Well, I've already started a Ryobi collection, so anything Ryobi's good. And I'm now a cordless guy. Anything cordless is good in my shop. So hopefully my family's listening and care.
And care.
That's part of it. That might make it. Yeah.
Gift cards are accepted, huh?
Absolutely. Yes.
You're right. Right.
And Ryobi's Home Depot, is that what?
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
They got a lot of stuff. It's cool. Cool looking stuff. Brennan, do you have a favorite?
I guess I'm probably more of a DeWalt guy. Time tested on my end. Use many cordless as well. So that's more where I would be on the DeWalt.
They got lots of selection.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in mind that you just got to have?
Not necessarily. I guess the more tools you got, the more work you got to do. So
Yeah, but it's so much fun.
yeah. No, anything's cool. I like tools, so anything would be great on my end.
You guys are easy.
Yeah.
Jeff?
I'm a DeWalt guy also.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
And once you start with one,
Yep.
then it's like, well, I've got batteries. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to kind of stay with the brand.
Yeah, that's where I'm at for sure.
Yeah.
We know who makes the money here. The DeWalt guys.
We're getting ready to hear this one next.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I made I think I had all Ryobi, and it was all the old stuff. They're really old. And finally, it just quit. I mean, it just died. I had a kit. And so I called out to one of our branches and asked them what they used. And they said to get Milwaukee. And I think they're all good. But I started in with Sonia's husband. Kevin works over at the hardware store.
Yep.
And they've got big Milwaukee selection. So I started on that, but the tool I want is it's new. It's a booster, a jumper. And somehow they take an 18-volt battery and it says they can jumpstart a pickup truck. So I'm going to let that get in the market a little bit and see if it really works. And hope that's right. Hopefully somebody's listening and somebody cares, right?
Yeah. That's all that has to happen.
Introductions. Bill, tell us a little bit about yourself. And then Brennan, when we know you're in a new role. So Bill, you're a returning guest, but we may have some new listeners since you're on last.
Okay. So Bill Houze. I live in Columbus, Indiana. I've been with Premier for 13 years. Most of it was selling liquid fuels and just liquid fuels. Here in the past 2 years, I've kind of switched over to just selling propane and kind of focusing energies there. It's been a great change for me. Get to talk to a lot of homeowners, which is a lot of fun. And I currently cover kind of the central east side of Indiana and get into Ohio a little bit.
Wow. And Brennan,
that's
Brennan,
me.
You just took, tell us a little bit about your former role and then your new one.
Yeah, I'm also from Columbus, Indiana. Got hired on here a little over 10 years ago. It's my 11th winter. Got hired as a tech. Been doing that for the LP department the whole time. Slowly grown, watched the company grow, went through a few acquisitions and mergers and all that stuff. So I kind of, get to feel how all this works. But here recently with the acquisition in the Morgantown area, formerly Gales, we went ahead and decided we need to grow a little bit more that direction. And I was able to step into a role there to help grow that side of the company. And I'm feel very blessed to be with Premier, continue on the growth there. So that's where I'm at now, and growing and hiring and trying to get things on board with way, Premier standards and policies and stuff that other companies, have their own. And we just go through and we'll make sure everybody's on the same page statewide. So that's where we're at, and I'm blessed to be there.
So you're a district manager?
Yeah, district manager. Yeah. We just needed somebody to kind of help fill roles. We got, my boss, he's got so much on his plate, and I think it's just a lot easier to.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, with a lot of growth. But yeah, we need to branch out a little bit and just broaden our horizons, help everybody out a little bit. So.
I thought it was interesting.
That's Bill for you.
Yeah.
When you got a propane guy in here, he reminds us how many winters he's been here.
That's right.
Well, you're exactly right. That's how I base. That's how I base a lot of times. That's your goal, because that's when you're out there really working.
Yeah, because if you ever notice, if you're in the office and it's cold and miserable out, the propane guys are they're like giddy.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. This is it.
That's our sweet time.
So, Brennan, I can imagine there's got to be a lot of certifications if you've been at, I'll go back to a personal experience, and I had built a shop and a barn dominium, and I couldn't believe how, as new furnaces are hooked up and with the installers, and then also with the technicians from Premier Energy, there's a lot of coordination there.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about what all is involved in
the game plan on being coordinated, that's more of just kind of learning as you go. The coordination really isn't more of a standard, but as far as training and stuff to go, we got certifications on the LP side that you have to go through and want to make sure you're certified on. We do a lot of testing and stuff like that could be a safety requirements for the customers. So just with basics on, how LP works to how the installs work to the proper testing and documentation, stuff like that. Yeah, we go through trainings, and then as we get new hires on, we make sure that they get proper training as well. So a lot of that's hands-on, but some of it is actually documented as well.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Does Bill teach any of those classes?
I would hope not.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Remember, Bill's in sales.
Sales, baby.
We found that out with it. I asked him the same technical question 2 different times. He's in sales.
I'm in sales.
Yep. And does a good job. So some of the safety things from a homeowner perspective, I know that there's on new installs, and I think that we do, is it pressure test or?
Yeah, a leak check would be the proper term. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So an actual pressure test would be like on a new install, a new line in the ground. We would do like a pressure test on that line itself. That'd be like for a new install, a new line on the outside. Now, a leak check is actually what we perform to make sure there's no leaks in the system anywhere, inside and out. That could be performed by the tech or the driver themselves. So let's say we have a customer that is out of gas, per se. The driver could perform that leak check as well. So everybody's certified to take care of that. That way customers are properly taken care of as well. But the leak check itself is basically a system that would hold pressure. Therefore, if it was to drop in pressure, then you would obviously have a leak. You go find it, fix it. If it holds pressure for a required amount of time, and we're good to go, and we could document that and send them off. So
is Premier Energy, are we responsible from the tank to the house, or how does the?
As far as the equipment, yes. I would like, as a tech, it's a little different. I want to be responsible for it all. I want to make sure that when I leave there, they're good, and that's the plan and my goal. So I don't like to say specifics, but as a tech, I would say when I leave there, I want to make sure they're taken care of, and I want to be responsible for the system. Yes.
We are not responsible for anything inside the house.
Technically, yes. No, I'm not responsible for their appliances, but for their safety, I'm responsible to make sure they're good to go. Yes, when we leave that.
Correct.
Very good. That is funny. The disclaimer there. Well, we ended up on propane safety, so let's just go ahead and continue on that. tell us a little bit about is there things, we all have propane, most of us do, out in the rural areas specifically, but so just some safety tips, I guess, for homeowners. Are there things that they should be aware of? Or I know you guys send out those safety cards with the scratch and sniff, maybe.
Yep. Well, most importantly, again, when a service tech is out there, when they leave, they want to make sure that the customer is informed. They want to make sure that the customer understands, for one, what it smells like. That way, if there's a leak, they could detect that themselves. Make sure how to shut the tank off if need be, because that would be one of the most important things. If they do smell, to get out, shut that tank off, give us a call, and let us take care of it from there. So those are probably the most important. Understand what appliances you have that are propane. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people don't understand even some of the appliances they have that are propane. So what appliances you have, what it smells like, how to shut the tank off, and then give us a call.
Awesome. Yeah. That's easy enough.
Yeah. Yep.
And do not light candles.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What are some common mistakes people make with propane, or is it pretty much low maintenance?
I think communication. It's not calling us when need to. I mean, if you think there's an issue, give us a call. If you're having an issue with you think you smell propane, give us a call. We'd be surprised how many customers, I've been smelling this for a year or so. And, it's like, if you think you smell propane, you should give us a call. So that's probably the most important is if you think there's something wrong, let us know. Let us come out and double check it and get you going.
We also run into the handy Andes who can run their own line and hook up their own heater. And
leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, please let us do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that is funny. I can see that. I'm going to trench this in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there are requirements of some of this stuff, the proper types of fittings and line and stuff used. And if you go to a hardware store, just let them know what you're doing. They're not professionals. They're just going to give you whatever. So he's right. Don't try to do it yourself. Let us use what we need to be using.
So bills and sales. So what's some of the? I think we've talked a little bit about keep full programs and will call. And
we're kind of stressing that hard this year. So just to clarify, the keep full is when Premier takes responsibility for your tank and keeping it full. And some of the benefits to that is, we'll either put a monitor on, which probably within the next couple of years, every tank we own will have a monitor on it. Or if you're in a certain area, it may be degree days, but we keep up with it and we know when to come out and fill you. So you don't have to be the one out there in the middle of winter trying to figure out the gauge. Being on Keep Full also gives you access to our programs, be it budget, prepaid, gold cap. So you have some pricing security there, being with one of those programs. But on the flip side, we also allow will call. And what that means is the customer's taking all the responsibility of getting their tank full. The issues with that, I would say during the peak heating seasons, probably company-wide, we probably have 10 to 15 outages where the customer forgot. Yeah. You get busy, you're doing things, it happens. But when that happens, there's some extra fees involved. We have to do a leak test. If they need gas that day, then there's an out of route fee. Just a lot of headaches. Also, you are not under the pricing protection. You, whatever the market may be doing is the price you're going to get. And hopefully it stays, relatively, but if it were to take off and you're not part of a fixed program, then you're just going to pay whatever the market demands at that time.
Which has happened.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
We've had it.
Tanks never run out at convenient hours either, do they?
No,
not at all.
No. And
Sunday morning you got a cold shower,
right?
And the house is cold.
Yeah, and with those out of gas, like he's saying too, when you're out of gas, we're required to go through that testing system as well. It's not like a driver can just show up and, just fill it and leave. Somebody's going to have to be there for us to do a proper leak check and the whole documentation as well. So that's, it's a stress on the driver, a tech if need be, and the homeowner all at once when it's something that could have been dealt with a lot easier with just a monitor on a tank.
And one of the other issues with just will call is you might call in on a Tuesday and say, hey, I really need a fill. And we were just in your routing area the day before. So it may be another 3 to 5 days before we can get back around to you. And for those reasons, we've had to go to where the will call is just a little bit more expensive than if you were on Keep Full. So I just really want to encourage everybody who's part of the propane program, if you are not on Keep Full, please give us a call and we can make that change very quickly and easily.
And no downside, really.
No, and I get it. Some people want to be in control of, when we come and how much we put in. And a lot of people do a good job with it. They're very, on top of it. But what happens, just like I said, so often is you get busy and you forget about it and you come home and your house is cold. And so...
Well, you're talking about pricing stuff. So what are some of the trends or outlooks we're seeing on propane pricing going into this winter?
Right now, we're pretty stable, and we have a sufficient inventory. But as we all know, in this age we live in, one thing can happen somewhere in the world, and all that can change overnight.
Just one little black swan event someplace.
Yeah. So, but as we are here today, pretty stable. So
we had it's been several years ago when there was propane shortage.
Correct.
And Premier Ag or Premier Energy took care of all their customers. I mean, all of them were covered, no worries. But I had friends calling from Iowa to see if they could get transport loads of propane.
Yeah, during that time we actually had to drive to Texas to get propane.
To make sure
we were covered. Yep.
That's amazing.
And those who were involved in the CAP program didn't pay any more than the CAP.
Can you do a little more detail about the Gold Cap program? Because we touched on it, but not really.
Well, the Gold Cap, what we do every fall is come out with a capped price. This year we've come out with the price of $2.49.9 a gallon. And what that means is that's the most you would pay during the heating season, which is October through March. If we come out and the market's lower, you get the lower price. The last 2 years, I can't guarantee this at all, but the last 2 years we haven't even hit our cap price. We've stayed under it the whole heating season. So it's just a great way to even budget, because most people know kind of the gallons they use each year. It doesn't change a lot. So you can look at that price and determine your gallons and kind of go, okay, that's a good, I'll be okay there if that ends up being the price. So, yeah, that's the big advantage to the Gold Cap.
You at least know what your maximum exposure is going to be.
Yeah. Other companies will give you incredibly low first fills and things like that. But then when that season hits, pricing is a little bit different. So,
and availability.
Right.
We ran into that with a friend of mine over in Jefferson County, I think. And, it was he was a terrible situation. He was out and they couldn't get to him for weeks. And, that was a,
some of the nationwide companies went to, we had several years in this area where it was pretty mild winters. And so somebody up in a big office decided they didn't need as many drivers out there, that
oh my gosh,
drivers could do more. But when we got the cold weather, there was no way for those guys to keep up. So here again, the working man on those companies did all they could do, but I just think some poor decisions were made as far as distributing their product. So we don't have that issue. We have a full staff going into winter, and be it service techs, drivers, customer service, we're ready to go.
And we got a lot of buying power. I mean, Premier
Correct.
Energy, between all of our buying power and our connections and stuff. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, yeah, that's what we do is, we have brought on several acquisitions in the last few years, and that only gives us more buying power like you're talking about. We go in pre-winter, right around the fall, and just contract our price. And so we can do that. And, when I started, it was 3 counties. And now we're just covering most of the central southern end of Indiana. So I can't even imagine. I don't get involved in that, and that's for a good reason.
Yes, for sure.
Very good reason.
For sure. Brennan says for sure.
So Mr. Haney has that on his shoulders every year and does a great job and puts us in a good position. So.
Yeah, question about those tank monitors. And you think that, are we installing them now already?
Yes.
On some tanks?
Yes.
And
We've selected areas. So each year we are putting on, how many you think we put on this year? I don't even know.
Oh, few hundred. I mean, we're quite about multiple counties on different sides of the state here.
So the goal, like I said earlier, is that we would have monitors on every tank we own in the next few years.
that's got to be a pretty expensive undertaking of a tank.
It is, and we do not charge for that as well.
Right.
Because it's as big a benefit to us as it is to our customer.
Yeah. Makes your dispatching a lot more efficient.
A ton more efficient.
Yeah, you'll make that up in the efficiency, whether it be fuel with the bobtails themselves, not having to multiple routes in different places they didn't need to be throughout the day. You're going to save in the long run on a lot of stuff, a lot of the out route, type stuff, and the efficiency should make up for itself fairly quickly. I would like to think so.
That is neat.
Yes,
I can't think of another supplier that's doing something like that.
Right.
Pretty unique.
It was Bill's idea, I heard.
Oh gosh, if it was
only if it fails. No, it's a good thing. It's been working really well. I work with the ladies that kind of do a lot of the routing and stuff, and it's just, I know it could seem probably a handful to them at the time getting it going and stuff, but I think it's definitely helping us keep an eye on tanks and stuff. I think it's going to be a really good thing.
all right. Brennan, you mentioned communication. What is one habit that you wish every customer would adopt this winter?
Oh man,
I'm afraid to ask Bill, so I'm going to go to you first.
Right. I don't even know. As far as propane, just like I said, be smart, be knowledgeable, understand what you have, what you're working with, and understand how we can help you. Don't be afraid to get a hold of us if you need something, whether it's just even questions. I mean, I'm always available. We have texts available. I mean, if you just have questions about stuff, whether it be with your HVAC, guys there and all this, that, and the other with pressures. And, I get a homeowner might not understand that, but give me a call. Maybe I can speak with them, and go that route and help you out too. So yeah, just be knowledgeable what you got, understand what you have, understand how to shut the tank off, and have our number for sure.
Bill, do you want to add anything to that?
I thought he did a wonderful job.
Well, now we've got a lot of on-demand heaters now. And I don't know if you've ever looked into one of those, but I thought it was just like a
Talking about a water heater?
Yes. Yeah. And
tankless.
Thank you.
Tankless,
Yeah, that's
yes.
right. That's the better term.
Generators and tankless water heaters have been a big growth, it seems like, over the last couple of years for us that we're dealing with. They're very good for the homeowner. They're really well. But that's another thing I think a homeowner doesn't realize is that it requires a lot larger line sizing, a lot more volume on our end. So if you had some of these older systems installed that aren't set up to hold that kind of a BTU rating and that kind of volume for that appliance, that is something that, you'll probably have to be reaching out to us when you get something installed because it's not working properly. So again, knowing what you have, knowing what you're buying, know what you're getting into, kind of do some research on that and make sure you're going to be set up properly for when that happens, so you're not in the dark when things aren't working right. We've been running into a lot of that with the tankless water heaters and generators.
Now, we would encourage all those out there to look into the tankless water heaters, though, because
yes, they're great.
They're great, and they use a lot more propane. So,
Oh gosh.
you have hot water nonstop, and
I was waiting for this.
It had to be something.
Bill's got something.
it's making your life easier as well as a consumer.
He was going to talk about energy efficiency or something. He used more propane.
Yes.
I'm sorry, salesman in me.
That's right.
So you want people to put tankless water heaters in, quit burning wood, and burn more propane.
Exactly.
That pretty much that covers it, doesn't it?
Crack your windows.
Crack the windows.
Yeah.
Fresh air.
Yeah, fresh air. You want to keep that going.
It's going south, Jeff. Well, I tell you, it is amazing what you all get done this time of year. And I think that's neat that Jeff pointed out that we talk about in winters. But just when the roads are the worst and the weather is the worst, that's when the propane division is on call. So
yeah, the drivers are tough. These guys are tough. I mean, you get in these big trucks they're in and realizing what they're getting into, and all these driveways in different areas and hills and hollers. And yeah, I got a lot of respect for them. I mean, you don't see it in the office, but out there, these guys are really, really tough.
And the other side of it that we don't tend to talk about as much, and I would really encourage you guys to have a couple of the ladies down here who take care of us in the office and what jobs they have. Some of their jobs are just unbelievable, what they have to keep up with.
Sure.
And if they didn't, the guys would just be a mess running all over the place. But our office staff, I would say throughout our company on the propane side and liquid fuels is top notch. And I think it'd be interesting for you guys to just kind of hear what they go through.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I could not do what they do. I mean, it's two different sides of the company. He's correct. He's correct. I wouldn't be able to do what I do at all without being able to make a phone call constantly.
What was that you said?
Oh my gosh.
You don't apply.
You said something about me being correct?
For those watching on YouTube, you could see the side eye that just got flashed across the podcast table.
He's not used to that.
Yeah, just the sheer volume of calls that those
It's insane.
those people handle on the customer service side.
Right.
Okay, so what's some of the funniest stories that you come across in your experience with Premier Energy?
Oh man, that's hard.
Or weird, request or call that you've gotten.
Employees like Bill, working side by side with guys like him and some of our other techs. He's one of a kind. So,
Well, it's the stories that people call in with, of why we need to come give them gas, even though they don't have any money. And it sometimes it's heartbreaking, and you want to go, okay, out of my own pocket, we're going to do this. And then other times the incredibly stupid stories they try to tell us.
Somebody stole my propane.
Yeah. You got, it. I don't want to get into details of what we hear, but yeah, there's a lot of stories out there. But
Somebody took my propane.
right. Yeah.
So that's Jeff. I don't know. You finish us on that one. I think that's probably a good one to stop on.
We probably take the shovel away when we start digging a hole.
right.
Well, it's going to be a cold weekend. I think the division will be super busy, keeping everybody nice and warm through the holidays and Christmas and New Year's. But I think that's about all we got, Jeff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
us.
it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
That's another episode of The High Ground, powered by Premier Companies. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.